Good morning, friends. It's Bob bringing you a series this week of reflections on the passion of Jesus. And I'm going to take some pieces of the story of Jesus' sacrificial death on the cross and just give a few meditations throughout this week. In the Catholic side of our family tree, they have had this thing for centuries, or actually for millennia, called the Stations of the Cross. It is taking different pieces of this passion narrative of Jesus from the Garden of Gethsemane all the way through to him being laid in the tomb, and they're really, really powerful. Basically the Stations of the Cross, the scriptural ones. There's some that are extra biblical, but in this, these are the 14, and I can't, obviously I'm starting too late to get 14, but it is Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus is betrayed by Judas and arrested. Jesus is condemned by the Sanhedrin. He's denied by Peter. He is judged by Pilate. He's scourged, and the crown of thorns is put on his head. He takes up his cross. He's helped to carry his cross by Simon of Cyrene. He is crucified. He's actually nailed to the cross. He promises his kingdom to the repentant thief. He entrusts Mary and John to his mother Mary to John in terms of care. He dies on the cross and he's laid in the tomb. I was thinking about doing this for the last couple of weeks, and I kind of balked at it because it's a fairly intimidating type of a thing to actually take on. And then I just had forgotten how many dimensions that there were of this story that are all really important because all of these are the price that was paid for your and my rescue. And where I want to start this morning is with Matthew's Gospel in chapter 26, Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, because this is where he's been predicting his sacrificial death on the cross for a while, and numerous times, 4 times at least that I can remember, possibly 5, he's predicted that he's going to die on the cross. He's going to rise on the 3rd day. But the disciples is just bouncing off of them because they're thinking that Jesus is going to set up an earthly kingdom. And so here is the Matthew's recording and he was there. This is an eyewitness's account. He says it this way in Matthew 26. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, where he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee along with him and began to be sorrowful and troubled. And he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." And going a little further, he fell down with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" He asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." And he went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible for this cup to be taken from me, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken from me unless I drink it, then may your will be done." And when he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away once more and prayed the 3rd time, saying the same thing. And then he returned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer." And as you know, then he's arrested by Judas, by a group of temple guards led by Judas, and who betrays him with a kiss. Now, just to reflect, and what I don't want to do this week is to kind of think about us very much, but I want to think about together that this is Jesus wrestling with the weight of the assignment of which he came to do was to rescue us by eliminating the alienation between us and God, by taking our sins, the reason for that alienation, into himself. And in this is Jesus wrestling with is there another way to do this? And this is truly a very high price. He's going to pay with his own life. He's going to take the sins of the entire world onto himself. He's going to into his physical body. And this is something no person has ever done nor ever will do again. This is something that alone God can do. And he is taking on our sins, and he's wrestling with this. Let's take this time today and reflect on the fact that Jesus, he said yes when the Father called him to lay down his life in this way. He'd been laying down his life the entire time, but this is the particular price, and you are that prize. He is laying down his life to rescue you. Think about that today. Wrestle with that today. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you. We'll talk tomorrow.